Sometimes you walk into a place for the first time and just feel it.
And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
To be painfully obvious, they're not exactly packing them in anymore at Union Baptist Church in Lawrence County, Ohio.
14 was here last Sunday.
Although they used to, back in the post-World War II days when everything was booming in the town of Blackfork.
I was a black cheerleader, 1956.
In a school that was segregated?
Our school was not segregated.
Oh, it was desegregated?
Yeah.
Wow. The church and the congregation are steeped in American history. People escaping slavery made their way over these hills after crossing the Ohio River from what was then Mason County, Virginia, a slave state.
And this man, he was redheaded, and he helped the slaves.
Union Baptist provided the first stop on the Underground Railroad, the first time in their lives they had actually tasted freedom.
I can imagine some of the sermons that came from this place back in those days. For those who before had had no hope and all of a sudden found this community, found Union Baptist as their first real glimpse of the promised land.
Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King.
It's easy to see why Union Baptist is on the Ohio Historic Registry and why the remaining members are so driven to keep the doors open for Sunday service as long as possible, realizing it may be more of a museum someday when they eventually all pass on.
It feels pretty awesome to know that you're a part of a church that's been in existence for 205 years and all the history that goes with it.
From its start in 1819 through the Civil War, Union Baptist assisted more than 200 escaped slaves. Its members include over 50 veterans who fought for their country in 6 wars, including Congressional Medal of Honor recipient Donald Russell Long, killed in 1966 when he threw himself on a grenade to protect his platoon in Vietnam. The pride here shines like the sun on this rural mountaintop community. Hope Rippey is one of many with direct ties to the Underground Railroad.
It was our great-great-grandfather, Stuart, that he and his wife, they had shelters for them.
When you come through the church doors, there's a feeling that you have that is indescribable.
Deacon Paul and Rosetta Keels have their own history here in the form of a love story.
He had to come to church to get me.
Like everyone else here, their family story is firmly intertwined with the church's story.
I made a promise to my grandfather that we would always try to continue to keep this church going.
I got baptized and joined this church at 15 and lived here till I was 19, and I've never moved my membership. I've lived in Gallipolis for 30 years, and I said, nope.
You still come to church here?
I'm not going to move my membership.
Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life. For 205 years and counting, the people of Union Baptist have lived that verse to the fullest. The crown of life is theirs.